What's going on, guys? It's your boy Adjen back again for another Reverse 1999 video. And for today, let us talk about the low rarity characters that are good investment or worth investing, especially if you want to save some resources and stamina, because raising a character is no joke, because you will still spend level up materials, ascension materials, and those uses stamina. And if you are an F2P player, the amount of stamina that you can use daily are pretty much very limited, especially if we don't receive some stamina refills from the developers. So yeah, it's pretty dry. So you should be wise on choosing which character to raise. Now, who are the best low rarity characters to raise? In my honest opinion, do not raise a DPS character, a low rarity DPS character. Why? Because low rarity characters as a very low stats compared to the 5-star and the 6 stars. So yeah, I think it's just a waste in raising them. But if you don't have any other choice, like for example, you don't have a dedicated DPS for a certain element, then you might want to raise them, but it is still up to you. It is still up to your own preferences. But later on down the line, you might get some really upgraded DPS, then you're gonna be wasting your resources to that character. Unless you are really stuck and you really need to raise a DPS character at that element, then go ahead and do so. And there are only 2 DPS character that I can recommend for the low rarity ones, and one of them is Eagle. Eagle, if you will see a lot of Reverse 1999 clears or showcases, Eagle is one of them, one of the best low rarity DPS oriented character. Eagle is a burst damage DPS, as you can see here, and Eagle's kit are pretty good. It has really high damage multiplier for a 4-star, but the stats of Eagle is pretty low compared to the normal 5-star and 6-star. That is why I don't really recommend building a DPS oriented character for low rarity. But as I've said, if you don't have any other options, then might as well build them. Also, take note that low rarity characters, the 4-star and below, cannot go into Insight Trade. That is one of their biggest drawbacks compared to the 5-star and the 6-star. That is why DPS oriented characters really falls off, and I really don't recommend building them. So one of them is Eagle, and the other one is where is he? Pavia. Yeah, Pavia is one of the best 4-star DPS character in my honest opinion. He has some self-sustain. As you can see, it's already stated here, DPS and self-healing. The self-healing comes from his ultimate, this one. So when he activates the ultimate, he will enter the self-healing buff, and this one is an HOT buff. So he has some self-sustain. You might call him something like a budget eternity. Yes. So and his kit are also pretty good, depending on his HP. Whether his HP is above 50% or below HP percent, they deal more damage, and that is the best thing about Pavia. So those 2 characters, if you don't have any DPS oriented higher than the 4-star Eagle and Pavia, then they might be a good investment for you. Moving on, the best characters in the low rarity that I can recommend are the utility characters. DPS oriented character falls off, especially in the later end game content, but utility characters does not really fall off that much, because because of their ability to really elevate your team performance. One of the best investment for 4-star is Calo. Calo is a really good support character. Not only she will make your team really tanky, but she has some form of healing also here in the page of prayers. Although this one is not really a what do you call this, a dedicated healer. She's not a dedicated healer. She just has this some form of HP heal on her kit, and this one is a single target, so it's not really, if you need a dedicated healer in the team, do not bring Cristalo, but she can still make it work because of her defense buff. Yeah, her buffs are really good. This one, it gives you the stardiness buff, which gives you damage mitigation of 25%, and then increasing your teammates, your team's reality defense and mental defense by 10% up to 20% at maximum level 3. This one is really good. And also the skill 1 is a debuff, a single target debuff that is good for single target bosses, because this one, as you can see, at max level can reduce the reality defense by 40% for 3 rounds. Yeah, she is a budget Born Bloom that can reduce the reality defense, but this one is single target only compared to Born Bloom's debuff, which is an AoE debuff. So that is the difference between them. But in the case of Cristalo, she has this really nice tanky debuff that makes your team really tanky. So if you are if you are dying really fast in certain stages, then you might want to raise Cristalo, and I think she's really worth it. Another good 4-star character to raise, or good investment, is Oliver Pug. Oliver Pug is the same, probably the same like Cristalo, because Oliver Pug also has the stardiness buff. This one, and also he has the reality defense and mental defense also. Just like this is pretty much the same like Cristalo, but the attack one, this one is only a DPS damaging skill that has some form of sustain, because this one has a lifesteal. His ultimate has a really nice damage multiplier, 500%, but as a 4-star character, their stats are low compared to the normal 5-star or 6-star characters. That is why, but the utility that Oliver Pug can bring to the team is really good. That is why I think Oliver Pug also is a really good investment if you don't have any more characters to raise. And then who else? Eric. If you're running a critical damage team, then Eric might be good investment for you, especially if you're running a critical oriented team like Lilia, because Lilia is a reality defense also, reality DPS character. And as you can see, Eric reduces the critical resist rate and critical defense of the target by up to 30% on her level 2 and level 3's upgraded skill, or the skill 1, and then her skill 2. This one has some as an AoE attack that can penetrates, but you will be mostly raising Eric just for her critical defense shred. This one, if you're running a critical oriented team, Lilia, those are critical oriented characters, right? Critical oriented DPS. Then you want some characters that can reduce the critical defense and critical resist of the enemies. But she's not really a priority. Low rarity characters are really not a priority to raise. If you are looking for some utility, then yeah, they might be worth raising. But other than those things, it's not really a priority to go ahead and raise them. Another low rarity character that is pretty much really good is LA Source, or La Source. Dedicated healer, really good, but probably on the late game content, like for example the what do you call this? The artificial somnambulism, the limbo, stage 5 or 6. She might die really easily because her stats are just pretty abysmal as a 3-star character. There are advantages of low rarity characters. One of them is that they are really easy to raise. They don't consume that much resources, but still you're still spending resources on them. But compared to the 5-star and 6-star, the resources to use on them are a bit smaller compared to the higher rarity ones. So yeah, there's nothing really to say about LA Source. She's just a really good healer, period. And then I think lastly, Twin Sleep is also a really good character to raise, especially if you're running a mental DPS oriented character like Charlie, because or maybe even Regulus. I think Twin Sleep is best paired with Regulus because Regulus is a critical oriented mental DPS character, because Twin Sleep can reduce the critical defense by 30% up to 50%, and also they can inflict weakness debuff on all enemy. And this one is an AoE debuff. Mind you guys, AoE debuff to reduce the critical defense, and also this one can reduce the mental defense of the enemy. Although this one is only a single target attack, still this one is a really good mental defense breaker. So yeah, she is best paired with the likes of Regulus, that is a critical oriented mental DPS, or maybe even Charlie for the mental defense shred debuff. So yeah, those are the low rarity characters that I can recommend that are pretty much really good investment. So we have Eagle and Pavia for if you're looking for DPS oriented low rarity characters. And then for the utility characters, we have Calo, Eric, and then we have Oliver Pug, and then we have Twin Sleep and LA Source. Excuse. Well, anyway guys, I think that's it for me for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it if you can help me grow my channel more. And thank you to everyone who are supporting my channel. I appreciate every one of you. Until next time, peace.